The work that we do in utilities is important for everybody that lives in the city. From having safe drinking water, having reliable water to fight fires, and to have proper waste collection systems. Those add to our health, our safety, and our quality of life. That's why we need to invest the money that we do within our utility system to replace aging infrastructure that's wearing out or that could have problems down the road, or for the growth that we have. Between the water, wastewater, and the storm and surface water systems, there's over 1,500 miles of pipeline. Within the water system alone, there's over 600 miles. That's as long as running a pipeline from Seattle to Idaho and back. We have 24 reservoirs with a total storage volume of over 40 million gallons. Our sewer system has over 500 miles of pipeline and 22 pump stations. Our storm and surface water system has over 400 miles of pipe and over 80 miles of streams. So Bellevue's infrastructure between all the components of the water, sewer, and stormwater system amounts to about a $3.5 billion worth of assets. So Bellevue's infrastructure system is quite old in a lot of ways. For example, much of the water system was built in the 50s and 60s. And so currently there's a program now to replace these aging water main pipes that are approaching 60, 70 years old or more. Well, now that those pipes are nearing the end of their useful life, and so there's a program to replace up to 5 miles of water main pipe every year. So the Capital Investment Program, or CIP as we call it, we look at a 7-year horizon from a planning standpoint to know what priorities we need to look at year by year over that 7-year period. There are some key areas that our projects fall into. These areas include renewing and replacing aging infrastructure, adding system capacity to support growth, protecting and preserving our environment, meeting legal mandates, and, last but not least, improving and enhancing our customer service. So currently there are several CIP construction projects in progress around the city. So behind me is the CREST pump station. It's a new pump station replacing an existing one that's been in place for 40 years or more. And so it's a replacing aging infrastructure CIP project. So within our system, pump stations are needed because of the hills everywhere. There needs to be a means to get water up the hill. Reservoirs are typically up on hills. So a pump station provides the means to pump water up the hill. So another example of a project around town on the wastewater side is what's called the MIDLAKES sewer pump station, which is located over just north of Bill Red Road, nearing the end of its useful life. So our wastewater CIP also has a program that looks for defects and makes repairs in the sewer pipelines. Prior to doing the actual work though, there's an evaluation on the pipelines to determine which locations need to be repaired or replaced, and our sewer maintenance team goes out to these locations and inspects the pipelines with video cameras. And that information helps us prioritize what repairs need to be made and when. It could be a replacement of that section of pipe, or it could be relining the pipe with a liner that extends the life of the existing pipe. So within Bellevue Utilities storm and surface water CIP, there have been a number of projects that have been constructed over the years. More recently, there's been a series of bridges built in the Newport Shores neighborhood. These series of projects has helped reduce flooding within that neighborhood with undersized culverts, and by putting in bridges instead of pipes, it's not only solved the flooding problem, but also has enhanced fish passage. So our utility system, although much of it is invisible, it's a very complicated system, being underground, a vast network of pipes, pump stations, reservoirs, etc. And we work constantly to keep that system running properly for our health and our safety and for our enjoyment.